Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. You can't blame gravity for falling in love. We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. The only source of knowledge is experience. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. I live in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in the years of maturity. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. Nationalism is an infantile disease. It is the measles of mankind. Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. Pure mathematics is, in its way, the poetry of logical ideas. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge but imagination. Any man who can drive safely while kissing a pretty girl is simply not giving the kiss the attention it deserves. If people are good only because they fear punishment and hope for reward, then we are a sorry lot indeed. He who can no longer pause to wonder and stand wrapped in awe is as good as dead. His eyes are closed. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. A table, a chair, a bowl of fruit, and a violin. What else does a man need to be happy? Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. Intellectuals solve problems, geniuses prevent them. The hardest thing to understand in the world is the income tax. Everyone should be respected as an individual, but no one idolized. No amount of experimentation can ever prove me right. A single experiment can prove me wrong. The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. Only two things are infinite: the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the former. I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. Coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. I know not with what weapons World War II will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. The only reason for time is so that everything doesn't happen at once. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. There are two ways to live. You can live as if nothing is a miracle. You can live as if everything is a miracle. If we knew what it was we were doing, it would not be called research, would it? Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. If I were not a physicist, I would probably be a musician. I often think in music. I live my daydreams in music. I see my life in terms of music. Common sense is the collection of prejudices acquired by age 18. The value of a man should be seen in what he gives and not in what he is able to receive. Our task must be to free ourselves by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature and its beauty. The gift of fantasy has meant more to me than my talent for absorbing positive knowledge. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. A question that sometimes drives me hazy: am I or are the others crazy? All that is valuable in human society depends upon the opportunity for development accorded the individual. Joy in looking and comprehending is nature's most beautiful gift. Before God, we are all equally wise and equally foolish. If you are out to describe the truth, leave elegance to the tailor. Technological progress is like an axe in the hands of a pathological criminal. In matters of truth and justice, there is no difference between large and small problems, for issues concerning the treatment of people are all the same. Put your hand on a hot stove for a minute and it seems like an hour. Sit with a pretty girl for an hour and it seems like a minute. It is strange to be known so universally and yet to be so lonely. Gravitation is not responsible for people falling in love. Whoever undertakes to set himself up as a judge of truth and knowledge is shipwrecked by the laughter of the gods. When you are courting a nice girl, an hour seems like a second. When you sit on a red-hot cinder, a second seems like an hour. That's relativity. Memory is deceptive because it is colored by today's events. Only one who devotes himself to a cause with his whole strength and soul can be a true master. For this reason, mastery demands all of a person. The distinction between the past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. Information is not knowledge. I think and think for months and years. 99 times, the conclusion is false. The 100th time I am right. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. I believe that a simple and unassuming manner of life is best for everyone, best both for the body and the mind. The only real valuable thing is intuition. I am not only a pacifist but a militant pacifist. I am willing to fight for peace. Nothing will end war unless the people themselves refuse to go to war. To raise new questions, new possibilities, to regard old problems from a new angle, requires creative imagination and marks real advance in science. Anger dwells only in the bosom of fools. That deep emotional conviction of the presence of a superior reasoning power, which is revealed in the incomprehensible universe, forms my idea of God. The fear of death is the most unjustified of all fears, for there's no risk of accident for someone who's dead. All religions, arts, and sciences are branches of the same tree. Politics is for the present, but an equation is for eternity. In order to be an immaculate member of a flock of sheep, one must above all be a sheep oneself. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. I do not believe in immortality of the individual, and I consider ethics to be an exclusively human concern with no superhuman authority behind it. Confusion of goals and perfection of means seems, in my opinion, to characterize our age. An empty stomach is not a good political advisor. The high destiny of the individual is to serve rather than to rule. Occurrences in this domain are beyond the reach of exact prediction because of the variety of factors in operation, not because of any lack of order in nature. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Few are those who see with their own eyes and feel with their own hearts. He who joyfully marches to music in rank and file has already earned my contempt. He has been given a large brain by mistake, since for him the spinal cord would suffice. True art is characterized by an irresistible urge in the creative artist. A man should look for what is, and not for what he thinks should be. I never think of the future, it comes soon enough. Without deep reflection, one knows from daily life that one exists for other people. When the solution is simple, God is answering. The environment is everything that isn't me. Nothing is more destructive of respect for the government and the law of the land than passing laws which cannot be enforced. Concern for man and his fate must always form the chief interest of all technical endeavors. Never forget this in the midst of your diagrams and equations. Never do anything against conscience, even if the state demands it. Most people say that it is the intellect which makes a great scientist. They're wrong, it is character. Do not worry about your difficulties in mathematics. I can assure you mine are still greater. Force always attracts men of low morality. We still do not know 1,000% of what nature has revealed to us. Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. Anyone who doesn't take truth seriously in small matters cannot be trusted in large ones either. The whole of science is nothing more than a refinement of everyday thinking. The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all true art and science. I want to know all God's thoughts. All the rest are just details. The devil has put a penalty on all things we enjoy in life. Either we suffer in health, or we suffer in soul, or we get fat. You can never solve a problem on the level on which it was created. It is a miracle that curiosity survives formal education. I want to go when I want. It is tasteless to prolong life artificially. I have done my share. It is time to go. I will do it elegantly. My religion consists of a humble admiration of the illimitable superior spirit who reveals himself in the slight details we are able to perceive with our frail and feeble mind. We cannot despair of humanity, since we ourselves are human beings. God does not play dice. You cannot simultaneously prevent and prepare for war. We should take care not to make the intellect our goal. It has, of course, powerful muscles, but no personality. People love chopping wood. In this activity, one immediately sees results. Love is a better teacher than duty. Never lose a holy curiosity. The faster you go, the shorter you are. Sometimes one pays most for the things one gets for nothing. True religion is real living, living with all one's soul, with all one's goodness and righteousness. Small is the number of people who see with their eyes and think with their minds. The grand aim of all science is to cover the greatest number of empirical facts by logical deduction from the smallest number of hypotheses or axioms. Solitude is painful when one is young, but delightful when one is more mature. Knowledge of what is does not open the door directly to what should be. As far as I'm concerned, I prefer silent vice to ostentatious virtue. The attempt to combine wisdom and power has only rarely been successful, and then only for a short while. It gives me great pleasure indeed to see the stubbornness of an incorrigible nonconformist warmly acclaimed. One may say the eternal mystery of the world is its comprehensibility. I have just got a new theory of eternity. I used to go away for weeks in a state of confusion. I do not believe that civilization will be wiped out in a war fought with the atomic bomb. Perhaps 2/3 of the people of the earth will be killed. Let every man be respected as an individual and no man idolized. The process of scientific discovery is, in effect, a continual flight from wonder. God always takes the simplest way. it should be possible to explain the laws of physics to a barmaid. To the master's honor all must turn, each in its track, without a sound, forever tracing Newton's ground. I am a deeply religious non-believer. This is a somewhat new kind of religion. God may be subtle, but he isn't plain mean. I cannot imagine a God who rewards and punishes the objects of his creation and is but a reflection of human frailty. There could be no fairer destiny for any physical theory than that it should point the way to a more comprehensive theory in which it lives on as a limiting case. All these primary impulses, not easily described in words, are the springs of man's actions. Heroism on command, senseless violence, and all the loathsome nonsense that goes by the name of patriotism, how passionately I hate them. The unleashed power of the atom has changed everything save our modes of thinking, and we thus drift toward unparalleled catastrophe. We shall require a substantially new manner of thinking if mankind is to survive. Few people are capable of expressing with equanimity opinions which differ from the prejudices of their social environment. Most people are even incapable of forming such opinions. Reading, after a certain age, diverts the mind too much from its creative pursuits. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. Morality is of the highest importance, but for us, not for God. Science is a wonderful thing if one does not have to earn one's living at it. There comes a time when the mind takes a higher plane of knowledge but can never prove how it got there. There is no logical way to the discovery of these elemental laws. There is only the way of intuition, which is helped by a feeling for the order lying behind the appearance. You ask me if I keep a notebook to record my great ideas. I've only ever had one. It is only to the individual that a soul is given. The man of science is a poor philosopher. The release of atomic energy has not created a new problem. It has merely made more urgent the necessity of solving an existing one. I love to travel, but hate to arrive. I am enough of an artist to draw freely upon my imagination. It is my conviction that killing under the cloak of war is nothing but an act of murder. The road to perdition has ever been accompanied by lip service to an ideal. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is comprehensible. I very rarely think in words at all. A thought comes, and I may try to express it in words afterwards. I do not believe in the God of theology who rewards good and punishes evil. It stands to the everlasting credit of science that by acting on the human mind it has overcome man's insecurity before himself and before nature. Human beings must have action, and they will make it if they cannot find it. Too many of us look upon Americans as dollar chasers. This is a cruel libel, even if it is reiterated thoughtlessly by the Americans themselves. One strength of the communist system of the East is that it has some of the character of a religion and inspires the emotions of a religion. Mozart's music is so pure and beautiful that I see it as a reflection of the inner beauty of the universe. As far as the laws of mathematics refer to reality, they are not certain, and as far as they are certain, they do not refer to reality. I shall never believe that God plays dice with the world. Isn't it strange that I, who have written only unpopular books, should be such a popular fellow? It was the experience of mystery, even if mixed with fear, that engendered religion. Most of the fundamental ideas of science are essentially simple, and may, as a rule, be expressed in a language comprehensible to everyone.